Hi everyone, welcome to the very last video on this page from Agotapop's December Tinies on Shelf series. We are going to be doing more from her December Tinies on Shelves pages, but obviously there is only one left on this page, so we're going to be doing this one. Now this is a Christmas cake. I did think that this should be the very last one really, because it says Merry Christmas and it looks really good, but I just didn't record them in that order because there was a few reasons for it. Firstly, I'm using my Derwent Chromaflow. I'm going to use the brown sugar to do the cake part, you'll see. So yeah, the other ones that I was going to do are larger and would take a bit longer, and I wanted to get some done just to make sure that I could fit it all in really. It probably doesn't make any sense. Well, it does. Because I only started recording these on the 29th of December, and the series needed to start on the 1st. So I wanted to do some smaller ones so I could get ahead and get those done. Now I've got an iced cake, as you can see, sort of dribbly icing. We've got a ribbon around it. We've got some cream in it. It's a very interesting looking cake, not one that like I've ever seen before. I don't know where Agata's from, to be honest, and I don't know whether this is the sort of cake that she would have, or whether it's just something from her imagination that she thought looked rather nice. I'm not sure. I'm going to use the colours, the willow. I'm just checking. Yeah, I'm going to use the willow. I don't think we've used it yet on this page. And I'm going to use it to put a shadow under the drizzle to start with. Then, on the ribbon. Then I'm going to use it to put some dots on the cake like this. Some of them have been drawn in, some of them I'm sort of making up. So it just gives a bit of texture into the cake, because cakes aren't just sort of flat. It's almost like the crumb, of the cake. Okay, now every ribbon on this page almost has been red. Oh, we've done a silver one and some green, but I want this one to be red. We've got the holly as well, so that's going to be green. So I want a red ribbon, so that's where I'm going to go next and find my... Oh, let's do a slightly different colour. Let's do the cardinal red. This is slightly more orangey. If it's too orange, I might change my mind. Gosh, it's getting dark out there. But I'm going to have a go and see if it works. Oh, I think it might be okay. It is a bit orangey, isn't it? I thought cardinals were red. Actually, I did some research on cardinals because they're not a bird that we get in the UK. And it seems like there are different types. So the red cardinal is one type, and then there are other types as well, which I find quite interesting, because I'd only ever heard of red cardinals because they're the ones we see in Christmas books and things. Well, those of us who have Christmas, American-y Christmas books, if that makes sense. There we go. So both sides very much the same. But of course, in the UK, the birds we associate with Christmas are our robins, robin redbreast. Now, what's interesting is that I think it was Victorian times in England, postmen used to get called robin redbreast because they carried red bags or had a red uniform or something like that, and robins have a red breast to them, and so robins were sort of put on Christmas cards to signify the postman rather than signifying themselves. But we do seem to see more robins in the winter, but maybe they don't have all that colour all year. I don't know for sure. it might be that they migrate as well. I'm trying to do these bits a bit darker because they'll be shadowy, and then put a lighter bit on. But there were Victorian Christmas cards were always fun to look at. One year my friend shared a load on Facebook, and they were just the most bizarre cards, and not jolly in any sense. It was whether they just had the weirdest sense of humour or whether they just wanted to send something dark. I couldn't quite tell. It was just very weird, but it's worth having a look online. I can't sort of recall any specific ones, of course, because you know I'm talking about it. I haven't done any research before I started yapping. I can't work out what that thing is there. What is that? I'm going to do the holly and ponder. Now, what colour should we do the holly today? We could do something a bit different. I'm tempted. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try the foliage colour. I really like it. Because we've done our ribbon is slightly orangey. I think it might work. Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe this is a it's a bit pale, this, isn't it? Maybe it's like a cookie or something. I don't really know. This is a bit pale for holly. We'll sort it out in a bit. Don't press too hard because we'll put another colour on. But it was in Victorian times, I think, when Christmas cards started being sent, and it's people send them less these days. The postage is expensive, and that's one contributing factor. People do emails and things instead, you know, and some people just don't. Some people feel they're bad for the environment. This is olivine. I mean, everything we buy or do is, to be fair, so, you know, I agree that they probably are, but, you know. I'm going to put this on the edges and sort of scumble it in towards the middle a bit. Let's see if we can just make it a little bit darker. Yeah, I never stopped sending cards. I just like doing it. Some people dislike it. That's fine. It's just, you know, it's just what you want to do, really. And some people just send to people who send to them. Some people, I don't know. I just have a list that I send to, and I send to them. And it sometimes goes up, sometimes down, depending on where people are and what they're doing and who I know and who I've been talking to that year, and you know. Alright, there we go. I think that's better. I quite like that more muted look. Whoops, I've just knocked it with my arm. Sorry. Now, around the bottom of here, this could be piped sort of icing, but I think it looks like it could be almonds. But it's hard, isn't it? Now, I am going to use the strawberry colour to colour that inside of the cookie as if it's got jam in it. Is that the strawberry? Yeah. And I might decide to do this in strawberry colour, like strawberry icing, or I might decide not to. I'm hoping this is just a bit of a darker version of our ribbon. It is. I'm going to plaster it on quite thickly. That's it. Now, I might, no, because the ribbon is near it. If I try, I might do this as a sort of slightly pinkish icing. reddish, like that. And then I'm going to get some yellow to go over it as well. What shade of yellow? The pineapple. That's one I haven't used this time. There we go. It'll turn it a bit orangey, but I'm okay with that. Maybe I'll do this for the icing down here too. Oops, because it's quite creamy, isn't it? Now the drizzly bit is always a bit tricky to know quite what to do. I think what I'm going to do with that cake is go back to my strawberry, sharpen it really well, and do a little layer as if we've got a jam layer in the cake. So this is the strawberry again. The jam would probably be on the bottom, not the top. I'm going to put it on both layers. There we go. Now we need to do that biscuit. So probably going to grab the brown sugar again. It's a good base biscuity colour, I think. But to make that look more like a biscuit, we need some sort of dots. There we go. Now icing and Merry Christmas. Let's have a little think. Icing white seems to work for me, and I think I might just use some, yes, I know what I'm going to do. Silver on the edge of the icing. That's my first trick. There we go. Now Merry Christmas in gold. So I'm going to do the sticks in gold, the edge of our, whatever this is. It could be rice paper, it could be anything. And I'm going to try to go over the words in my pen, which has a nib that's probably a bit too thick. Okay, now there's something about that ribbon. I feel like I want to fiddle with it before I finish. I'm going to grab the sangria colour and just do a little bit more shadowing. You might not think it's worth it. Okay, and then I need my white pen to do a bit of shine in the biscuit jam. Here and here, and I'm just gonna, I don't know what these are. Actually, we might want to make them look like icing. I haven't done a particularly good job, but there we go. There it is. So there is our Merry Christmas cake. The words aren't very clear with the gold pen, but I did the best I could. You might want to try something a little bit different, maybe doing a more defined colour, like maybe the metallic black, something like that might have worked better, but never mind. I do like gold, so it's quite pretty. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and happy colouring.